Welcome back to our SketchUp Pro tutorial series. We left off here, we finished up our base cabinets. Now we need to go in and put in our countertop. We have two different sections for that, and then we're going to work on the upper cabinets. So if we come over here to the right, this is going to be flush. So let's create our rectangles. Going to erase my line, so now I have one single piece. Take my push-pull tool, and we're going to pull this up 1.5 inches. We do have a slight overhang of 1 inch, so I'm going to take each one of these sections and pull it out 1 inch. And we'll go to this other side over here and do the same thing. We do not want to do it for this piece or this piece over here, as that's where the stove and the refrigerator is going to go. Take our selection tool. We're going to triple click on this, right click. I'm going to go ahead and make it a component or a group. Either one is fine. And we're going to do kitchen A, because we will have a few different countertops. We'll have this countertop, we're going to have the countertop over here, and then we'll have a countertop over in the bathroom. While I'm also over here, I'm going to, over in your outliner panel, click on the very top one, hold down shift, and click on the last cabinet, right click on it, and make that a group. And I'm going to name this kitchen base cabinets. Over here, we're going to have another countertop. That's the size of this one. I'm going to go ahead and pull this one up 1.5 inches. I'm then going to take my tape measure, and I want to measure out 18 inches. Hit the L key or the line tool. Let's draw a line straight down, make sure it's blue. We're then going to take our push-pull tool, and we're going to pull this part out 4 foot 6 inches. Take your push-pull tool again. We're going to pull this right side out 1 inch to create our 1 inch overhang. Take your suction tool, triple click on it, make sure that everything is selected, right click, make it a group. Come over here to the outline panel, double click on that group, and we're going to name this one kitchen counter B. If you ever lost, like in the walls and all that stuff, you can, over here in your tool panel, you can click on zoom extents, and that will zoom out. So now we have our kitchen base counters. We'll add in our little legs here later on. We're going to start working on our upper cabinets now, and again, just like previously, I'm going to work on the corners, and then we'll go from there. So upper cabinets are only 1 foot deep instead of the 2 foot deep that the base cabinets are. So whenever we're doing our kitchen counters or the upper cabinets and the corners, instead of doing 36 inches and 24 inches, we're doing 12 and 24. So let's go with 16.5. So to create our measurements, we're going to go up 18 inches. And then for the most part, our cabinets are going to be 36 inches tall. So let's create our cabinets over here. You can type in the measurements. You can use the right side over here as a reference, whichever you prefer. Take our tape measure, go from the corner. We're going to go to the right 24 inches. We'll go out this way 24 inches as well. Let's take our rectangle tool, draw in our rectangles, take our push-pull tool and pull these out 12 inches. Click on the eraser tool. Clean up our lines. We're then going to use very similar measurements as what our base cabinets are. So 1/2 inch. I'm also going to we'll leave that one piece. And pull this out 0.75 or 3/4 of an inch. I'm also going to clean up our lines. There we go. Let's triple click on our cabinet, make group, or make an opponent. We're going to do upper cabinet, corner, again, there's 2 of them, so we're going to go to the opposite side as well. Click on the corner, hit Control, we're going to move this along the red axis. Click, hover over the red X, rotate this around, hover over that 3 o'clock mark, go ahead and click, and pull it into the other corner. Our next one over here is going to be a 30-inch cabinet. So let's go from here over 30 inches. Pull this out 12 inches. And we'll create our 1/2 inch all the way around. We will split this into 2 different doors. Find that midpoint. And let's draw in our 2 doors. Select the P key for the push-pull tool. and we'll do 1/2 inch. Let's erase our lines. And turn this into a component. Upper cabinet. This is going to be our 30-inch. Over here on the other side, our cabinet is going to be 18 inches. So we're going to take our tape measure, create our 18-inch mark, create our rectangle, same exact fashion that we have been doing, pulling this out 12 inches, and creating our door. In this case, it's going to be just one door. The biggest thing is making sure that your tape measure lines are one of the axis colors, so red, green, or blue. That tends to help make sure that all your lines are correct, or they're going where you expect them to go. Right click, make it a group, or make it a component. Try to keep it similar, naming conventions. This one was 18 inches. Over here to the right, we do have a small cabinet right here. So it's going to be a 12-inch cabinet. Going to double click right here to create a guide there. Going to double click right here to create a guide. And then let's go ahead and draw in our 12-inch cabinet. That should line up with down here at the very bottom. As again, right here is going to be our refrigerator. Let's pull this out 12 inches. And let's create a door same exact way we have been. So again, all of our spaces are 1/2 inch, with the door itself being 3/4 of an inch thick. Take our selection tool, which is the space bar, triple click on it real quick, right click, make it a component. And looking over in our outline panel, we're just going to continue with our naming conventions in order to make sure that everything is kind of organized and nicely named so we know what everything is. Our last cabinet on this side is going to be a little different. We're going to go from our top here and we're going to go down $18 inches. Create a width of 30 inches. Let's create our box. Pull this out 12 inches and do our doorway just like we have been, except we'll actually split this again into 2 different doors. Right click, make it a component. This one again is our 30 inch. or 18 by 30. Just so we don't confuse it with the other 30-inch cabinet. I do want to go ahead and create our filler space for this over here. So take our rectangle tool. I'm going to zoom in to that upper corner, make sure that I'm clicking on the right one. All right, let's try this a different way. So I'm going to make a guide. So let's erase all these other guides. So I'm going to create a guide along the top here. From this, I'm going to go down, create a guide down here. Now I have my corners, so I'm going to take and create my rectangle. Take my push-pull tool and pull this back 0.75. Right-click, make this a group. Double-click on it over here and do upper cabinet filler right, just in case we need something on the other side. And since we're done with on this side over here, we can come in here and delete all of our guides. Over here on the right, we are reusing this cabinet right here. So let's go ahead and take this cabinet, hit Control. We're going to bring it all the way over here to the right, go along the red axis. We're going to rotate this around 180 degrees, drag it by this corner, and we're going to place it at that corner. This next one is going to be a 42-inch cabinet. And it's going to be 18 inches tall. Let's come in here and create our rectangle. Pull this out to a foot. Create our border like we have been doing. And draw in our doorways. Right-click, make this a component. Upper cabinet, 42-inch. I do want to make one change while I'm at this point. We have this guide here. This is where our base cabinet should end. So for here, I need to right click, edit this group. I'm going to take my move tool and I want to move this to the right and place it here. Make sure you're moving that one and not your other base cabinets. Right click, close group. I want to edit that countertop and let's pull this out to there. We do have a small little space right here that we will kind of we'll fill up a little bit later on. This last counter, really quick, is going to be our number 1 cabinet. It is going to be 12 inches deep, 36 inches wide, and 36 inches tall. So we can erase that mark, go down 36 inches, go from here over 36 inches, and we'll have that little filler space again. So finishing up this will finish up this particular project or this particular episode. We will kind of clean this up in our next episode, put in the filler spaces and clean up the outliner panel there from these upper cabinets. So we'll kind of do all of that in our next episode of this series. So let's turn this into a component one last time. Upper cabinet, 36 inch. So clean this up, do let our guides, come in here and we're going to toggle down our base cabinets, select all of our upper cabinets, right click, make that a group, and we're going to name this as upper cabinets. At this point, make sure you come in here and you save your work. And that finishes up this episode. Hopefully it helps you learn how to create some upper cabinets, filling out our kitchen. We're going to continue working on our kitchen and then move into and do a similar thing with our bathroom. Thank you for watching this episode and watching this series.